Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one that starts with just $5 and ends with something far more valuable than money ever could. Was a cold afternoon in a quiet little town where the streets were never too busy and dreams often felt just out of reach for people who didn't have much. In a small, slightly worn-out apartment on the third floor of an old building lived a little girl named Lily. She was only 8 years old, but her eyes carried a kind of maturity that most adults never truly understood. Lily lived with her mother, Anna. Life had not been kind to them. Anna worked long hours as a cleaner in a nearby office building, coming home late every night with tired hands and a gentle smile that she always tried to keep for her daughter. No matter how exhausted she was, she never let Lily feel unloved. Lately, things had gotten worse. Anna had fallen sick. At first it was just a cough, something small, something they thought would pass. But days turned into weeks, and the cough grew heavier. She could no longer go to work, and without work, there was no money. Small savings, they had quickly disappeared. Food became scarce, and the electricity had already been cut off once before they managed to pay just enough to turn it back. Lily didn't complain. She never asked for toys, never asked for anything really. But there was one thing she couldn't ignore. Her mom's birthday was tomorrow. Lily knew her mom had completely forgotten about Eve that night. As Anna slept restlessly on their old couch, Lily quietly sat beside her and held her hand. She whispered softly, "Don't worry, Mama. I'll make your birthday special the next morning." Lily woke up early. She looked around the apartment, searching for anything she could use. She checked drawers, old jars, even the pockets of her mother's coat hanging by the door. After a long search, she finally gathered everything she could find. $5,000, that was all 5 crumpled $1 bills. Barely enough for anything, but to Lily, it felt like a fortune-ish. Carefully folded the money and put it in her small pocket. Then she grabbed her worn-out sweater, kissed her mom on the forehead, and quietly stepped outside. Air was cold, and the sky was gray. But Lily walked with determination. She had one goal to buy a birthday cake. After walking for nearly 20 minutes, she reached a small bakery at the corner of a busy street. The bakery window was filled with beautiful cakes, chocolate cakes, strawberry cakes, cakes with bright icing, and candles. Lily stood there, staring at them in awe, her reflection faintly visible in the glass, her small face filled with hate. Pushed the door open and stepped inside. A warm smell of sugar and freshly baked bread surrounded her. It felt like stepping into another world. Behind the counter stood a middle-aged baker, busy arranging pastries. He glanced at Lily for a moment, then went back to his work. Lily slowly walked up to the counter, her eyes scanning the cakes displayed behind the glass. They were all so beautiful. Too beautiful, excuse me, she said softly. The baker looked up. Yes. Lily hesitated for a moment, then pulled out her $5 and placed it on the counter. "I want to buy a birthday cake for my mom. She's saddy." Baker looked at the money, then at the cakes, then back at her sweetheart. "These cakes are more expensive than that," he replied gently. Lily's face fell, but she didn't give up. "Do you have a small one?" she asked at Baker's side. "Even the smallest cake is $15. Lily swallowed hard. Her fingers tightened slightly around the edge of the counter. "What about a broken one?" she asked quietly. "Or one that no one wants?" Baker paused. For a moment, something in his expression softened, but then he shook his head. "I'm sorry, we don't sell broken cakes." Lily nodded slowly. She picked up her money, trying to hide the disappointment in her eyes. Turned 11, that's when the door opened behind her. A tall man in a dark suit walked in and looked out of place in the small bakery. His presence carried a quiet authority, but also a heaviness. His name was Daniel, the CEO of a large company, known for his success, his wealth, and his cold, dissonant personality. People admired him, but no one really knew him. Him had come into the bakery without much thought, just looking for something quick before heading back to his empty apartment. But as he stepped inside, he noticed Lily's something about her made him pause. Maybe it was the way she clutched the money in her hand, or the way she tried to walk away without crying. Watched as she reached the door. "Wait, Daniel," said Lily, turned around slowly. "What were you trying to buy?" he asked. Hesitated, then answered honestly, "A cake for my mom's birthday." Daniel glanced at the counter, then at the baker, and the baker shrugged. "She doesn't have enough money." Daniel looked back at Lily. "How much do you have?" Lily opened her hand, showing the $5 for a moment. Daniel said nothing. Something inside him stirred. Something unfamiliar. Walked over to the display and looked at the cakes. "Which one do you like?" he asked. Lily's eyes widened. I can't afford them. That's not what I asked." Daniel said gently. Lily looked at the cakes again, then pointed to a small chocolate one with simple decorations. "That one." Daniel nodded. "Wrap it," he told the baker. Lily's eyes filled with confusion. "But I only have $5. She said. Daniel looked at her and smiled faintly. "Then today, $5 is enough." The baker quickly packed the cake And Daniel paid for it without another word. When he handed the box to Lily, she didn't take it immediately. Why are you doing this? She is getting ill paused. It was a question he didn't have an easy answer to because someone should, he said finalely. Slowly took the box, holding it carefully as if it were the most precious thing in the world. Thank you, she whispered. He's turned to leave again, but then stopped. My mom is sick, she added quietly. This will make her happy. Daniel watched her walk out of the bakery and for the first time in a very long time, he felt something shift inside him, something, warm something. Humana stood there for a moment, lost in thought. Then suddenly, he turned to the baker. Where does she live? He asked Eds. Baker shrugged. Round here somewhere, I think. Without another word, Daniel walked out of the bakery and followed the direction Lily had gone. Kept his distance, watching as she carefully carried the cake through the streets, protecting it from the cold wind. After a while, she entered an old apartment building. Daniel stopped outside, looking up at the worn-out structure. He hesitated and walked in, climbed the stairs quietly and saw Lily entering one of the apartments. A door was slightly open inside. He heard her voice, Mama, wake up. Daniel stood there, unsure if he should leave or stay, but something kept him there inside the apartment. Lily placed the cake on a small table on her, slowly opened her eyes. Lily, where did you go? She asked weak Lily, smiled. Happy birthday. Mama Anna looked at the cake, her eyes filling with tears. You bought this? Lily nodded. I had $5. And someone helped me. Anna tried to sit up, her hands trembling. You shouldn't have, she whispered. I wanted to, Lily said outside the door. Daniel felt his chest tighten. Had everything in life, money, power, success, but he had never felt a moment like this. Navar gently knocked on the door. Leo opened it, surprised to see him. She said. Daniel looked at her, then at Anna. May I come in? Yes, giddily noted us. Daniel stepped inside. He took in the small, fragile world they lived in. In that moment, he realized something. This wasn't just about a cockatoo, was about people, about connection, about kindness, something he had been missing his entire life. And that day, everything began to change. Because sometimes, all it takes is $5, a little courage, and one unexpected act of kindness to remind someone what truly matters.